Hello and welcome to a new video on my channel. This video will be about how you can use Apollo to get the perfect leads for your B2B SaaS company. And if you're wondering who I am, I built up the sales team of a now 100 million valuated startup and generated a sales pipeline for us and our clients worth of over 20 million US dollars just in the last 1.5 years alone. And Apollo was one of the main sources we used when we scraped leads, when we did our first outreach, and when we identified our ideal customer persona. So I want to teach you how you can use Apollo to perfectly grow your business in a scalable and predictable way. Apollo is a lead scraping software. So they have a database of more than, let me check, 275 million contacts inside. So if you are in a B2B niche and build a SaaS product, it's very likely that they have the leads to your ICP. This is how it looks, Apollo.io. Let's right away get inside. What we want to do, we are currently in the Home tab. You will not spend so much time in the Home tab because we want to go to the search. And then we always start with the job title. So for example, in our case, we are a marketing tech B2B SaaS, which improves the return on ad spend of customers. So who are our customers? What are their job titles? That can be on the one hand side, if we target startups, they can be founders. So let's just put in here founders. Founder and CEO. And as you see, when you already type something in, it makes you suggestions. So founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO. And then also in our case, the target group could be marketing directors. Marketing director, marketing specialist, no, officer, communications, marketing manager in general, and growth manager, because they are always in when it's about ads. So here we have a total of 1.7 million leads. Of course, that's too big. What we want to do now is management level. We want owner level, founder level, C-suite level, partner level, VP level, and head and director level. And then you can decide if you still want to go with the management level. In that case, let's just edit. So we narrowed down our leads to still 1.7 because they're very similar to what we have here. But for example, if we put out the management here, it would be around about 1.2 million. Then we want to continue. So maybe you know a company name which you would like to get a lead from, then you can just enter it here. But so like that. But we want to not do that right now. We want to get a broad search and get a good quantity of leads. So what we want to do is location, because we want to target only leads which are in the United States. So as you see, it reduced our amount of leads tremendously from worldwide 1.7 million leads to 600,000 leads. That's great. So then you can also exclude locations if you want that it searches everywhere besides in a country, but we don't want to do that right now. Our software is quite pricey. So we want to not target like solopreneurs and very small companies. We want to target companies which already have a certain amount of employees, which then is equal to a higher potential in ad spend and a higher potential like in revenue. Because only if you have higher revenue or high funding, then you can afford many employees. So we want to target companies between 21 and 2,000 employees. Like the mega corps we don't want to target because that's very hard to get inside with the processes. So here, as you see, lead size reduced from 1.7 million to 600,000 to just 250,000 leads. But 250,000 leads is still a lot. So let's narrow it down even further. Let's look for the industry. So we want companies in the, let's check together. So when you click here, you see a list of all the different industries Apollo offers. So we want companies in the, let's take apparel and fashion industry, because many of them are running ads. Let's click it here. As you see, boom, only 3.5K in leads reduced. So that is already a good size here. And we want, this is one more important step. We want that the email status is verified or likely to engage. And as you see here, the lead list reduced to 2,300 leads. That is already a very good size, which we then can work with. So then if you want to work with that lead list, for example, for cold emailing, for whatever, you click here. What is important, click the max people per company 1, that you're not reaching out to thousands of people from the same company. Click here and match the select number of people with the select all people, so the 2,288. Apply selection. And as you see, from that 3,000 or 2,300 leads, we have 1,215 leads left. So that is perfect. That is absolutely a perfect amount to start with, to get a better understanding of an industry when you're doing cold emailing, cold DMing, cold calling, whatever method you are using. So how to export that? You can either create a list via that point here, then create a list, or you can export the credits right away. So in most of the cases, people have the $99 version of Apollo, where they can export just 1,000 leads per month. So with that, it's already too much. So what we want to do here is we want to create the list to being able to export them later when we have the credits back. And then we just create the list and we have our own personal lead list. Okay, now let's quickly jump through all the different filters. It was a little fast right now with a real life example, but now I would like to show you all the different filters. So let me set them back. What we have here is we have lists. The lists I was talking about. Here you can add a list, like the list we just created with the 1,200 leads. We can import it back here and view it. Then we can also create personas. So we inserted all the data before. What we can also do is we can use that as our persona. And then we just click here on persona. Let's just put head of logistics in Germany, for example. This is our persona, and then it just shows us that lead list. So very easy. Here we can match all of our personas, all of the personas of our customers, and all the personas of our different products. Then we can search for names. So when you have a specific person in mind you would like to contact, then just write in the name here. We have the job titles, we already went through that. We have the company, if you want to target people from a specific company, for example from Mercedes-Benz, because they have different departments, different locations. If you just want to target people from there, just put in the name of the company here. Then you find leads from that company. The location, we also went through that. Here you can differentiate between contact location and account headquarter location. So maybe you want to target people, let's stay with the example of Mercedes. The headquarter location is in Stuttgart, Germany, but you want to target people in general from Mercedes, not just from the headquarter. But if you want to target only people from the headquarter, go here, put in the state, put in the country, put in the city, whatever you want, and then put it in here. Next is the employees tab. We also went through that, and here you can select the perfect range of employees which your customers normally have. Then a very interesting point is the industry and keyword section, because here you can select the different industries you're looking at. And one of my favorite settings here is the advanced setting part, so that you can exclude industries and you can include and exclude keywords. That is awesome. So for example, you want to target just B2B companies, then look here, it's from 16 million, or no, it was 107 million, I think. It got reduced to 10 million because those companies have something with B2B inside their Google description, inside their social media description, somewhere there. So that is awesome. Just use that to narrow down your target groups even more. Then in the next tab, we have buying intent. That's something very interesting when you want to target people who already showed intent to buy something like your services or your product is offering. There I'm not the biggest fan because, of course, huge corporations have some kind of intent, and smaller corporations, their Apollo doesn't have the information. So close to never we use the buying intent tab. Then in the next state, email status, very important because otherwise you're paying for bad leads. What we want to do is whenever you are targeting a lead list, we only want verified and likely to engaged prospects. We don't want unverified, update required or unavailable leads, because they are leads where the email address is wrong, where the LinkedIn address is wrong. Like, I really don't recommend doing that. And as you see, Apollo has 66 million leads which are unavailable or update is required for the contact information. So they are impossible to reach out. So please make sure to just reach out to verified and likely to engage leads. In the next point, we have the score. Here you can create a model. Basically, you can say, okay, I want to target people in the marketing technology space or in the B2B SaaS space, in the financial space, and then you can say, okay, just output me leads which have a score which is excellent, good, fair, or not a fit. Not a fit doesn't make sense, but I would then only target excellent or good fits. But also here I'm not the biggest fan. Most of the time we are not using that tab here. Next point is territories. To be honest, never used it before. It's not necessary in the first hand, in my opinion. It's just a rule to set engagement. But as we just focus on the lead generation here, you don't need to worry about the territories. Next point, which is amazing, is technologies. Because let's get back to our example. We are in the B2B SaaS space, and we are an advertisement technology company which doubles the return on ad spend for their customers when they do ads. So we want to reach out only to people who are using ad technology. For example, that can be the Facebook custom audience. So when someone has a custom audience or the pixel on the website, they are more likely to run ads. Or we want to, they have TikTok maybe already. TikTok, okay, no, only the TikTok itself, but not the TikTok pixel. So let's just keep the Facebook custom audiences. So as you see here, there's 63 million contacts which are using Facebook custom audiences. That is amazing. So this is something we can already consider, and we can narrow leads even better down. So make sure you insert technologies when you narrow down leads. Then you can, for example, also if you want that companies have multiple technologies inside, you can click that here, that include all. For example, if you want that companies are running Facebook ads, Twitter ads, LinkedIn ads, all of them at the same time, you can put it in here, and then it will narrow down the leads way more. Okay, next step is revenue. Very important. What type of revenue do your customers normally have? What type of revenue does your ICP have? So for example here, we want revenue from 500,000 a year till 50 million a year. So big enough to being able to purchase a solution, and small enough to have like small processes and not like a huge ass process behind everything. Make sure you want that. You can also select, do you want a private company? Do you want a public company? For most of the outreaches, private companies are easier to target because there they have less compliance and less processes. In the next step, we are going to funding, which for our target group is perfect because here we can see how much funding did a company get. We can, for example, only target companies in the Series A, Series B, and Series C round. So here we have, should be around about 1 million or 1.8 million. All those companies received a funding. And again, if we want to narrow it down, we want to reach out to only one person, and then we click apply selection. So the funding part is very important if you're targeting startups. If you're targeting bigger corporations, doesn't make sense. The next step here, job postings. I love that when you're in HR, for example, or when you're offering sales services. This is amazing because then you can put in currently hiring for the position, sales manager, for example, and we have 16 million leads from companies which are hiring sales managers. So when you're selling software to improve sales, they will be very likely to get your help because they're currently hiring, they currently seem to struggle in that area. So we really want to reach out to them. That's an amazing thing to do because it works tremendously well. Also, you can put in job located ad when they're hiring in a specific area or region. For example, when you're a recruiter, a recruiting agency, or have software in the recruitment space, you want to target people in your home turf market first. Next point is signals. Signals is something new in Apollo. I'm also not the biggest fan yet because it's not very well in how it works at the moment. So here we can create, for example, signals when they have recent funding. There's always a good signal. Okay, as you see here, doesn't work. So I wouldn't go with the signals for now. Just keep it as simple as possible. And then last but not least, email open. Also nothing to look deeper inside because we are focusing not on sending it out right now. We're focusing on getting the leads. And of course, Apollo has some more stuff to play around with here on the side. But also, we are not using that. We're not sending out emails with Apollo. There are other services which are way better. We're not using the AI part of Apollo. There are other services which are way better. Apollo is amazing for leads, and we only use it for the lead generation and for nothing more what they offer, because we truly believe there are better options out there. I hope that helped you, that gave you a good overlook of how to create the right ICP inside Apollo and how to scrape, how to generate those leads. It's important that you understand how to use something like Apollo. Of course, there are multiple other lead generation tools out there, but Apollo just seems to be the best one. They also got a recent funding with couple million US dollars, so they have incentive to be the best because they don't want to deliver bad for their VCs and their private equity funds they invested inside. So make sure to learn how to use Apollo and that you can teach it also to your employees, because It's a very simple, very easy tool to get basically an infinite stream of new potential customers. And in case you're still struggling with getting more customers for your B2B SaaS company, then there's a link down below. Make sure to click it and you will come to a funnel page. Full transparency here. The goal of that funnel page is that you book a meeting with me or one of our team members, because we can show you how to get more customers. But also, no worries if not. I just wanted to tell you, in case you're struggling with getting more clients, just hit the link down below. And if not, totally fine. I'm very happy that you're still here and watching that video. And if you like that video, there's a button for it. Make sure to smash it, subscribe to the channel and comment with any question you have. The next videos will be teaching you how you can use those leads you just generated and create the perfect cold email and cold DMing engine that you get a predictable growth of new customers every single month. I hope you liked it. I wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next video. Bye bye.